Time for fantasy football today for CBS Local Sports. I'm Jamey Eisenberg. That's Dave Richard. We're giving you starts and sits for week number 2. Let's start at the quarterback position. Let's start with the start of the week here at CBSSports.com, and that's Ben Roethlisberger. Love the setup for Big Ben against Seattle. Long road trip for a 1 o'clock Eastern start for that Seahawks defense that just allowed over 400 passing yards and 2 touchdowns to Andy Dalton. Big Ben in this spot is typically great, and what I mean by that, home games, home debut, coming off a loss. All 3 of those categories, he averages at least 25 fantasy points per game. Big Ben, big bounce back, big production for your fantasy team. Dave, who are you sitting this week?
I am sitting Kyler Murray, who had a big fourth quarter last week for the Arizona Cardinals, and that's really his breakout moment, but this is a difficult spot for him. Flying across the country, taking on the Baltimore Ravens. This is a dangerous Ravens defense, both with its secondary and its pass rush. I am worried that he will not hold up well in this game. Last week he had 23 fantasy points. This week he's going to be well under that. Keep Kyler Murray away from your lineups. Matthew Stafford, Josh Allen, Jimmy Garoppolo, all superior options that you might be able to find off waivers.
Your starting running back for week number 2 is who?
Damian Williams of the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm going right back to him, Jamey. I know that LaShawn McCoy had a nice game last week, and I think that LaShawn McCoy could get more of a share of the rushing workload in Kansas City. But I still see Damian Williams as a great pass catcher. He played 12 third down snaps. That's typically when running backs catch a lot of passes. LaShawn McCoy only had 4. So that split will happen, but it'll favor Damian Williams in PPR. I still think he's good enough as a number 2 running back in what should be a high-scoring game against the Raiders.
I'm a little bit nervous about him more so in non-PPR leagues than PPR, but without Tyreek Hill there, his role in the passing game could be good. You know his role could be a little bit in trouble, and that's Aaron Jones. He's still the starter. He's still the best running back for the Packers, but we did see a little bit closer to a 50-50 split last week in their victory against the Bears on Thursday night with Jamal Williams. Now, part of that had to do with Jones briefly leaving the game, but I think it's something you got to keep an eye on with the new coaching staff. But a tough matchup this week against the Vikings. They just swallowed up the Falcons' ground game, and I think they'll make things tough on Aaron Jones, as they typically do. So I think Jones is more of a flex option at best, but that's kind of where he's at right now. Let's move now to the wide receivers, and you got to start Tyrell. Must start wide receiver in week number 2. Awesome debut for the Raiders against the Broncos last week. Over 100 yards and a touchdown, 7 targets, second on the team behind only Darren Waller. I think it's going to be another big game for Tyrell Williams because they're chasing points against the Chiefs. That's right. They will be chasing points against the Chiefs. Big surprise there. The Raiders will be chasing points against the Chiefs, who just allowed DJ Chark over 100 yards. Chris Conley over 90 yards and a touchdown. D.D. Westbrook found the end zone. Tyrell Williams might be better than all 3 of them. Love the setup for him. Must start receiver, and you're starting him over this guy.
You're starting him over Kenny Golladay, and we drafted Kenny Golladay to be a number 2 fantasy receiver with a chance to be a number 1 guy, and in week 1, I know he scored, and I know he gave you 42 yards and 4 catches on top of it, but he had 9 targets, and he watched as the Lions started throwing to rookie T.J. Hawkinson and slot receiver Danny Amendola, and I'm just wondering if there are too many mouths to feed in this passing game. And oh, by the way, the Lions want to run the football more, and they're taking on the Chargers, who have some really good cornerbacks. So I am nervous about starting Kenny Golladay as anything more than a flex.
So to recap our starts and sits for week number 2, you're starting Ben Roethlisberger, Damian Williams, and Tyrell Williams. You're sitting Kyler Murray, Aaron Jones, Kenny Golladay. For Dave Richard, I'm Jamey Eisenberg. These have been your starts and sits for week number 2 for CBS Local Sports.